Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel Made with Love. My name is Heather and today I'm going to be making my boy gnome. Now I made the girl gnome earlier today and then I was trying to figure out what to do because I really want to get him made. I still can't find the stuff for this beard. I've got another two options if I can't find it. One was just to make a string beard, putting a whole bunch of these pieces together to make his beard. I also have a sheet of that the terry cloth thing that you use, the car wash ones. So they're really fluffy. I've made beards out of that one too. But I'm gonna look, I think I know where my faux fur is, so I'm just gonna go and check a couple more places. But I figure I can start this and get him started while I'm looking for the fur, because I'm gonna wait for glue to dry anyways. So decided I like the idea of him standing. I made her sitting with her feet dangling and her dress is all frilly underneath her and it's really cute. But I really like the idea to have this one having actually standing. So I'm starting with the hot chocolate carton, a hot chocolate canister, iced tea mix or whatever, any type of coffee canisters, anything like that would work. Because I did notice that if I just put his shoes there and I just set this on, that works. It looks like a perfect body. It lines up pretty good. I mean, it's a little crooked because they're not fully even. There's the ribbon and stuff in my way. And so if I do this, oops, get this to stand. So maybe I'll just take it off the shoes for a second and then put the hat on. See, brand new hat. I got these, yeah, I didn't even say. I bought the hats at Dollarama for $1.50. I know I can get them cheaper, but this was the only ones I could find. I kind of was looking for Santa hats kind of late this year, but I'm going to have it so the hat will be shorter at the front. We can get his nose and longer at the back, just so I don't have to deal with so much clothing. And so I'm going to show you. So I'm going to do this with this, like this. So he's going to stand. I know I had it on here. I think it's just because the ribbons and they're attached. I know it stands because I did have it. There we go. The Santa hat on him at the shoes. So I'm going to set the hat and shoes aside. And then I'm going to take the lid off. Maybe not. There's still a little bit of cocoa residue in powder in here. But first, I decided trying to find like how to make him clothes. I have got this sweatshirt material. It's a nice, the gray and white. So I think I've got enough piece. I think this piece here, I think will cover it completely. I think I quickly had kind of measured this. Let's go around. No, that will not go that way. Does it go this way? I thought I quickly had measured this. No. That's not the right side. I'm just going to trim this piece off because this I can use for his arms anyways. I just got to find a wider piece. That's, it must have been, I don't know, this is an odd piece of material. I don't know, it's like, I don't know what this is. I got this some material free, so, you know. I thought I found a piece that worked mostly. Got to go to about there because part of this, it tapers, so I will need about this much. It's okay. Any excess I don't need, I save and I will use in another project. So first thing I'm going to do is just, you can see how it tapers. The way that this piece is not perfectly square, it kind of tapers, but I said that was fine because I can use the excess pieces for other crafts. So I'm just going to hot glue this material directly onto this container. going the wrong way on me because I just want to get some glue here. Just put some glue on this container. Slowly just bring this around. I'm not too worried. If it comes off, I'm not worried because I will just be, I can add more glue later as needed. I think I might use a different glue rather than hot glue, but I just want to get this started. And I think as I get it glued on, it's going to work. Okay, so I've got it coming right back to this part. So now I need to overlap it a little bit. Got to figure out where because it's not straight. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of this off right here. And then I'm going to make a nice finished edge. So I'm just going to glue this piece down. So then I get a nice finished edge at the back. I kind of it's a little crooked here. That's okay. Material's forgiving. It's this fleecy stuff. It stretches a bit. That's okay. I can do other things. So I'm just going to put a little bead of glue right along here. And fold it in on itself so I get a nice finished edge. And then I will glue that into place here. There. Now it's a little crooked. That's okay. I'll just pull this down. I'll have to glue that back into place. But we've got that done, so it looks so much better. Now it doesn't. And I'm going to just trim off this extra stuff up here. That. I'll glue this to the lid and I'll do the same to the bottom, so I'll glue that down. And then look at that, we've got his body made. Now I said I'll do this off camera when I've, it's going to take a few minutes to glue all that in place. So while I'll just trim this quickly because I do see that this piece here needs a quick little trim. Oops. So we've got his body. I'm going to make his arms. So same thing. I'm just going to take this piece here. Same with how I made it with her arms. I'm just going to, oh, where's the other piece? I'm going to use this piece. This piece is bigger. So I'm just going to fold this back in half. Just going to figure out how long do I want his arms, I think. We gotta go from here to the front. So I think that's a good, oops, off camera. And I'm trying to do this so I can see, and sometimes I realize, oh, I'm off camera. But so from about the side here to the front, so that's probably, so if I were to try to use this piece from here to here, actually that might work too. Maybe I'll use that because that's a little bit skinnier, or not skinnier, but a little bit shorter. Well, maybe I'll do the longer side. That way, if I think it's too long, I can cut. So I would like to make it, I think I'm going to cut it, let's see how many inches, about 2 inches wide. Or should I go 3? 3 would be there. Maybe I'll do about 2.5 inches. Maybe a little more than 2.5, but not quite 3 inches. I'll kind of cut a little crooked. Let's see, what does it say I cut? I cut pretty close to 2.5 inches wide. I'll cut this in half right where that fold is. So I've got his 2 hands. And I'm going to put these right side down. And just put a little bit of glue in the center. Fold this over. It's okay if it's a little crooked because my material is kind of cut on a funny angle. What am I doing? I need this piece still. And then I'm going to, this is what I forgot to do when I made hers. It's just do a quick little thing like that and just fold this over just so I get a nicer finished edge. Sometimes I forget to do that, or I'll do it and I'll forget to say what I'm doing. But I just want a nicer, cleaner finished edge so you don't get that cut edge. And then just put some glue back over here, and then just fold it back over on top of itself. So now we've got a nice arm for him. And from the back, it looks like a nice clean, seam line from like a sweatshirt or something. So I'm gonna test it and see. It's kind of a skinny arm. That's okay. So I'll make the other one exact same. I will be back. I'm just going to finish his other arm and then get this material all attached onto this canister. Okay, so I've got this all done. So that's what the top looks like. And then for the bottom, because you might be able to see it, I just took another piece of the sweatshirt material and traced around and gave him a bottom. Now, I traced around the bottom of the container with a Sharpie, so I end up kind of drawing on the bottom of the container. So I was not sure what to do, but I think I'm just going to give him a little bit of a faux fur trim just around there just to hide that. I didn't give her any faux fur. I didn't even give her any hair or a nose. So I don't even know if I'm going to give him a nose. I might. I've got a couple ideas I might do for a nose for him. I might add a nose onto her too. Actually, now I think about it, I definitely want to give him a really big nose because this is such a big hat. So I've got this all ready for the next step. So I'm just going to take the little shoes and I'm just going to cut the little ribbon off. So there's no point even taking it off the tag. I'm just going to cut the ribbon right off, and I'll probably be able to save that ribbon. So I've got a couple of them. So I'm just going to find where it looks nicest, and I'm just going to push this faux fur off of there. Now I don't think that's going to be secure enough to glue. There's not a lot of a surface on here, I don't think. I'm just trying to see. Should I do that or not? Is that going to give... That might work better. Take a thinner piece of cardboard. I had these cut out for another project I'd worked on. I've got a couple of them. Oh, I had a couple. Let's see. Oh, I had... Oh, there's some more. Yeah, I had some of these templates for a few other projects. So I'm just going to... Gonna put some glue on the top of the shoe and press this down, and I will trim some of that off, but that will just give me a bigger surface to be able to glue the shoe onto how big this is. It will also just give me, I think his how big this is. I should have weighted this. That's okay. I know I should I should put something inside these boots to give it some weight, but I just don't have anything at the moment. I don't have any sand that I usually use when I'm making my shoes. And I didn't even think about grabbing any when I bought these, because I didn't even think about, because if I would have thought about that, I would have bought some more of that sand I just get from Dollar Tree. A big bag of that decorative sand. I'm just going to trim some of this extra cardboard off without trimming the shoes. But this is going to give me a bit bigger surface to glue this on. I'm just going to fluff up this faux fur just to hide some of the cardboard. Do the same to this one. Flip this over because I know where the back is, because the back will have the seam. So then the back of the shoes. So I'm just going to line these up kind of like this. Just more in the center, but off to the side a bit. Right there. Just going to put lots of glue on here. Glue that one in place. And put lots of glue on this one and glue this one into place. I've got his arms ready, but I'm not going to glue his arms on yet, just because I need to know where his hat is going to be sitting. So I got to let all this stuff dry. I got to finish letting all this glue dry, because I added more glue when I was finishing putting this on. Now I've got the feet, so now I've got to wait for all this glue to set up with the feet. So I will be back when I'm ready to do his hands and the hat and his nose. All right, I'm back. So here's my gnome. He's got his feet are attached. Now my desk isn't quite sturdy. It's kind of got stuff on here, so it's not sitting flat. I may have to lean him against the wall because I forgot to put something in here to weigh it down. So I'm thinking maybe I can do something once I get his hat attached, or just have him lean against the wall. Or I may have to just cut into this and put some rocks in here. I've got his arms made. So I'm going to attach his arms first. I'm going to attach one way up here so it comes down. Just got to decide which. Make sure I get his arms going the right way where I want them to go. So I'm going to glue the arms way up here at the top and have his arms glued down about a third down. I will use hot glue. That way I've got movement in the other part of his arm. So I got myself a new hot glue gun last night, so it should work good. Oh, yes. I was tired of all these glue guns not working. I finally was at the Dollarama and got myself a brand new glue gun. Okay. One arm glued. I'll do the same to the other arm without getting glue on my fingers. So I got his arms glued because I want them to do the same as hers. So he's going to have his arms down here, and he's going to hold, I have another one of these deer, so he can also hold a deer as well. Oops. Knock my camera over. I don't think I quite have his arms quite even. Oops. Just got to glue this one a little further this way. There. So I'm going to make the nose now. I made her nose, so I didn't add it, but so it's spelled, so they're a big gnome, so I make them a big nose. So this is just all I did was I just took a chunk of a nylon stocking. I'm just gonna go and tie one knot in on the one side. That. And then I've got a bag of cotton balls. I'm just gonna let his arms glue. Just let the arms set up with that glue. I'm just gonna grab a handful of cotton balls. I'm just gonna unwrap them a bit like that. This is all I did for hers, was I just took it and just unwrapped a couple so they're like, be able to stack them up so you get a nice piece of this cotton. And then I'm just gonna roll it up and just mash it in my hand like that. So I start getting like a big, these are almost like working with cookies. It's like making like rolled out cookies. Same thing, just wrap it in there. I'm just gonna kind of like give it a good, or like a snowball where you want to squeeze it just so you get this big. So I mean, I've got to do a couple more because hers I made quite big, unless I make this one a little smaller and give that one to him. I don't know, but I want to give him a bit bigger nose. But the size of these gnomes, they do need a big nose. So all I'm doing is I just found that it was just so much nicer and easier just to take the cotton ball and kind of tear it or open it up, and then they stick together. So now I get this really good size ball. I'm going to do two more. I think that'll be a good size. But I found just opening these up, for some reason, this inside fluffy part helps stick together. Then I do the last one, I'm rolling it this way, and then this last one here, oops, didn't quite work. I'm going to go the other direction around. It kind of holds all of that in place, and then I'm just going to stick it in here. I'm just going to take the two ends and I'm just going to tie the two ends together. Kind of like making those stocking dolls. I've never actually made one, but I've been watching a lot of tutorials on how to make those like nylon dolls and stuff. But there, and then just kind of squeeze it and flatten it out so you get more of a nice little nose shape. And now I'm just going to grab my scissors and just snip off this excess part of the nylon like that. So now I've got two little noses. Well, I guess these are quite large noses. I think I'm going to give this one to him, the first one I made, because this one's a little smaller. There. Just set those aside and glue them on when I'm ready. So now for his beard, I still couldn't find my stuff I would normally be using for his beard. So this was the sweatshirt material that I was using for his outfit, or his body. So if I turn it out this side, it's the white side. So I cut out a template for where I think his beard should go. So I'm gonna glue this on, just so I know kind of where I would like his beard. And then I'm going to just cut out strips of my yarn and glue the yarn onto this template. So I've got my yarn right here. I don't have it cut. I don't know what size of strips I'd need, but let's see. So the longest strip I'd need about there. I do want to cut it a little longer so it covers this, but I just wanted to have a nice shape. So I'll cut a couple this size, and then I'll start to cut them just a little bit smaller here and there, just so I get a nice tapered effect. But I'm not quite sure how many of these it's going to take for his beard. I'll just go like this. That'll probably give me a good amount to start with. finish cutting one. Are they all cut now? Yes, I've got a whole bunch. I will need more, but I just thought this would be a good amount to start with. So he just wants to roll on me, so I'm just gonna put something there. Just gonna put a little bit of glue up here. I'm just gonna glue the yarn in place. This way, if the yarn moves out of place, then with the white background, I think it will just kind of help. That way I'm not going to have to use quite as much yarn. This will do one more. Oops. One more there, and then I'll cut some more for the other side. So I'm just going to finish making his beard. It looks like I need about 4 or 5 more pieces. So I'm just going to roughly measure 2. Don't need him rolling off the table. He's got his beard, and like I said, I'm going to take this one, the sweatshirt piece. I'm going to just trim this off a little bit, just because I think it's still just a little too long. And it kind of, I said, so that white on the back will just kind of help it, so he's got like a nice looking beard. Now I'm going to just trim this up, because I know some of these were just a little too long. I'll probably trim a little more off too, but when I've got him standing up and I can see how long I need it and where I need it to be angled. So now I've got, so I'm going to touch his hands together. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to open one of these hands up. And I'm just going to stick the other hand inside. And then I'll pour some glue in there to hold it together. And now I've got his hat, but I guess I still have the tag on. I thought I already cut these off. I've cut so many tags off of so many things in the last couple days, wrapping presents and everything. You know, you think you've taken all the tags off, and no, you've missed a tag. Oops. And it's got this hook here, and I just realized that I need to stuff this hat also with shopping bags, and I just don't have any in this room again. So I gotta be right back. So I gotta get the shopping bags to stuff this before I put it on, because I made a mistake when I did hers. I had to take it apart because I forgot to do that. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got his hat stuffed with shopping bags. I've trimmed off his beard so it looks a lot better. It's still not quite right. There's a few pieces that are still a little too long. I've also cut the top of the lid just so I can put some rocks in here. So I got just these big rocks just because it needs, there, even just the one rock, that made a huge difference. Just having the one rock in there, now he stands. So let's see, maybe I'll just, I don't know if I have another, oh, I have another big rock. I was gonna put a couple rocks in there, and then I glued this all together and forgot to add the rocks. Okay, so now I've got rocks added, so now he's standing still. Got the top here is still cut open. That's why I wanted to put the rocks in and then seal it, but that's okay. I've got left enough of the lid, the plastic lid on here, so I can attach the hat. So I'm gonna attach the hat now. Going to figure out where it's going to sit, and put a couple spots of glue here and there just where I know I need it to sit for right now. I'm just going to go right behind both his arms, so that's a good starting point. And then at the very back, so I'm just going to line up as much as I can the seam from the hat and the seam of what would be the back of his shirt. Just going to line that up the best I can. Brand new glue gun, and it's already decided it's going to stop working. Okay. Okay, and while I was moving him, the rocks inside moved. So now he wants to tip funny, but I'm just going to grab and glue on his nose. And then I can attach his nose. And then I'm just going to glue his hat on top of his nose. Like that. And I think he is done. Oh, I just got to add the little deer to his hand. Just add it. Now it's covered in cotton balls and yarn. Right, like that. So I'll be back in a moment when I've got him standing next to her. So there's my little boy gnome. He's sitting right here. He's sitting right next to the little girl gnome. I really like the way they've turned out. I really like their noses. I've never made gnomes this big. It makes me, you know, want to try making larger gnomes. And like I said, I've glued her nose on. Now for her nose, just because of the way she's got all this tulle and stuff here, or not the tulle, the deco mesh, I just glued it right onto the white part of the hat. If I can just get her to stand sit up. Oops, I just pulled the nose. Okay, if I can just get, I don't know if you can see the nose, how cute it looks. Which is kind of tucked in with all her stuff. So she's got one deer, and there's this one there. He does stand quite tall. Like, that's a vase. I'm not quite sure how tall that vase is, but I'll have to measure them and find out how tall they are. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's watching my videos and subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next videos. Bye.